Hey there, fellow adventurers. Welcome back to our channel. Get ready to dive into an epic journey as we unveil the true champions of the off-road world, the top off-road vehicles that redefine the meaning of ruggedness and power. First on our list is Suzuki Jimny. Suzuki markets the Jimny as the world's only lightweight proper off-roader, which is all very true, refreshingly. The car weighs just over 1,100 kilograms but uses a ladder frame chassis with rigid axle suspension at each end, and a low-ratio four-wheel drive gearbox. There are, alas, no locking differentials, but with prices starting under £20,000, nor would you expect there to be. This thing really works off-road, as we've demonstrated with a twin test against a Toyota Land Cruiser. Indeed, with tiny overhangs, its approach, breakover and departure angles are all superior to those of the Wrangler, which is quite something, and being so small and light makes it surprisingly spry on mud and gravel and pleasingly easy to handle. You will also, we guarantee, fall for the Jimny's K-car looks. Which is just as well, because its naturally aspirated 1.5-liter petrol engine isn't particularly economical, its boot is tiny, its road manners are only a notch or two above dismal, and it can be particularly alarming when you need to stop in a hurry. If there's a downside, it's that Suzuki UK withdrew the Jimny from sale in 2020 due to its incompatibility with tightening emissions laws, replacing it with a commercial version. That means the Japanese machine is now a strict two-seater, although boot space has increased massively, so it won't suit families looking for a compact off-roader. Yet given the fact that most Jimnys are bought as fun runarounds, this change in classification shouldn't be too much of a problem for many owners, while plumbers, electricians and delivery drivers needing to access customers in the hardest-to-reach locations now know where to look for their next van. Ford Ranger Raptor. The original Ranger Raptor was something of a mixed bag, its weedy 2.0-liter diesel failing to match the talents of a chassis that fooled you into thinking you could tackle a stage of the Dakar Rally. Happily, the all-new version retains its predecessor's high-speed off-road prowess, but it now packs a little more muscle in the form of a 288 brake horsepower turbocharged 3.0-liter V6. In truth, this makes the Raptor brisk rather than quick on the road, but there's enough punch to surprise more than a few slumbering sports saloons, while the roarier engine note is much more pleasing to the ear than the old 4-pot diesel's drone. It's still a big car mind, and with chunky off-road tires and long travel suspension it lacks the precision, poise and grip on tarmac that you'd normally expect from a go-faster blue oval model. The 10-speed auto can prove a little indecisive when left to its own devices. As before, it's the Ford's uprated suspension that shines the brightest, the clever electronically controlled Fox Live valve adaptive dampers helping smooth any terrain that rolls under its wheels. On the road that means a supple and controlled ride, while in the rough stuff the Ranger can tackle ragged and torn terrain at speeds that would likely leave traditional 4x4s needing to be swept into a carrier bag at the end of the route. It's still a niche choice, and you'll need access to a deserted quarry or gravel rally stage to really unlock the Raptor's true potential, but that doesn't stop us wanting one. Ineos Grenadier. The Ineos falls just outside our top 5 for now, mainly because the only real time we've spent behind the wheel of the original Defender raping machine is off-road. Yet that's been enough to confirm the Grenadier is up with the best when it comes to conquering the wilderness, its abilities in the rough matching those of the British classic that has so clearly influenced its design. In keeping with traditional 4x4 mechanical philosophy, the Ineos features a ladder frame chassis and a pair of live axles. But to this it adds sophisticated BMW engines, a choice of 3.0-liter 6-cylinder petrol of diesel units, a ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox, and a Tramac dual-range transfer box for proper rock-crawling ability. Factor in ground clearance just shy of 260 mm, a trio of differential locks, plus approach and departure angles of 35.9 degrees in the Grenadier is as unstoppable in the rough as you'd expect, barely breaking a sweat as it scrabbles up and over challenging terra firma. Off-road ability and a no-nonsense utility underpin the car's character, but there's also softer side to the Ineos. Its interior is roomy and melds thoughtful ease of use with just enough luxury to appeal to the premium badge brigade, while our limited taster on the road revealed a machine that's closer in spirit to the Mercedes G-Wagon than the latest Defender. Next up is the almighty Mercedes-Benz G-Class. The best off-roaders tend to stick around. Both the Wrangler and the Land Cruiser have been with us for decades, and it's the same with the G-Wagon, technically now the G-Class, but you'll forgive us the nostalgia. This Mercedes, the only one without an official end-of-production date, recently received the only truly substantial redesign in its 40-year history. Underneath, you'll still find a ladder frame chassis,
although the front suspension is now fully independent and the whole setup was part developed by AMG. The result is car with 3 locking differentials, improved ground clearance and the same immense off-road abilities as before, but now also one that handles predictably and, at times, even quite enjoyably on the road. A move to rack and pinion steering has made the biggest difference there. However, Mercedes has also been cute with the period details, so the G retains the old car's traditional door handles with push-button locks, while the catches themselves are similar, meaning the doors close with same retro plaque. Our pick is the creamy straight-six diesel in the G400D, although it's possible to get a full-on Mercedes-AMG G63 with a twin-turbocharged petrol V8 making almost 600 brake horsepower, assuming you've got a Premier League footballer's budget to spend and don't mind attracting attention, not all of it positive. That said, neither model is cheap, with even the entry-level diesel now setting you back an eye-watering £131,095. Toyota Land Cruiser. Another icon, one that has historically been the workhorse of choice in the Australian outback, a place where breaking down simply won't do. This is an old-school off-roader with a body-on-frame construction and big numbers in all departments. For towing, weighting and low ratio, grind it out driving across truly inhospitable ground, the Land Cruiser scores very highly. Basic spec utility versions, identifiable by their steel wheels, are genuinely affordable, 3-door passenger versions aren't much pricier, and 5-door invincible spec cars offer packed-out equipment rosters and seating for up to 7. But while you can specify the Toyota with air suspension and leather seats, don't expect it to ride and handle like a monocoque SUV from Audi or Mercedes-Benz. It's a different beast, less sophisticated on the motorway but in another league in places where you might actually need a car like this, with a reputation for mechanical dependability and unbreakable toughness that's jealously regarded by every one of its competitors. Jeep Wrangler. Jeep doesn't revitalize the Wrangler very often, but the latest generation is more usable than ever on the road as well as more capable of it. That Jeep has carefully preserved the much-loved design, whose circular headlights, famously 7-slatted grille and strict geometry are recognizable still from the original Willys MB Jeeps first deployed in World War II, is only part of the appeal. The interior is now more spacious and less cheaply and sparsely finished, which goes hand in hand with the improved efficiency of the car's downsized engines and better road manners. Everything is relative, mind. Of course, the Wrangler is still spectacular off the beaten track, especially in 3-door Rubicon trim with its ladder frame, locking differentials, knobbly tires, specialized articulating axles, underbody bracing, and outstanding approach and departure angle statistics. It just wouldn't be as nice to live with every day as the Land Rover Defender, hence its second-place ranking. That's partly down to on-road manners that are considerably less salubrious than its British rivals, with far less accurate handling, a more hyperactive ride and near-bashing levels of refinement. Still, if you're handy with a spanner, you can remove the Wrangler's roof for some wind-in-the-hair thrills. There are now only 4-cylinder petrol versions of the Wrangler on official UK sale, with the 4-pot diesel having been removed from showrooms, and other options available only through grey, private, import. These include the Dodge Challenger-engined 6.4-liter V8 Special Edition Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 form, which is the Wrangler in its wildest and most unstoppable form. Land Rover Defender. After a preamble that lasted more than a decade, Land Rover finally showed off the long-awaited follow-up act to the original Land Rover in 2019 and launched the car in showrooms in 2020. Having switched from a ladder frame construction to a monocoque, and for plenty of reasons otherwise, this new Land Rover Defender is more of a successor than a direct replacement, and some feared that it wouldn't have quite the same kind of mud plugging, rock hopping, water fording, slope scaling and axle twisting prowess as a result. The new Defender can do almost all of that and more, however. With approach and departure angles of around 40 degrees, and ground clearance of as much as 291 mm thanks to its height-adjustable air suspension, this car has all of the right vital statistics. And yet it's the style in which it tackles off-road driving, and the way it eases the load on the driver to select just the right transmission mode, to maintain just the right amount of forward momentum, and to keep to just the right line through those ruts, that really impresses. And while its square-rigged predecessor's all-wheel drive system was simplicity itself, the latest car's is the height of sophistication, with the brand's trick terrain response system allowing even off-road novices to tackle the most challenging off-road obstacles.
And that brings us to the end of this video. If you found this content informative and enjoyable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. We have plenty more exciting videos coming your way, exploring different aspects of the automotive world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.